Have you heard about the woman who was killed by her husband? Welcome to Save the Ramadan Happiness Dose. Today we'll be talking about the wife of Fir'aun, Asiya. Asiya was righteous. She believed in Allah during the time of Musa alayhi salam, and she was married to a tyrant, Fir'aun, who oppressed Musa and Bani Israel. That's the people of Israelites. But the lesson I want us to take from her story is she didn't allow her husband's disbelief to affect her worship of Allah. So why do we allow our spouse to determine how we should worship Allah or to affect the way we worship Allah? Of course, it's interesting to have a husband or a wife who is going to read Quran with you, who is going to do righteous deed with you. This eventually your husband or your wife is not like that. You don't have to continue to hurt yourself. It's painful to see your spouse sleeping all throughout the night and not reading Quran in the month of Ramadan. It's painful, but you don't have to, start up a quarrel or start and fighting him or her. All you need is to admonish and then leave them alone. You don't have to bug them. Leave them alone. Is Allah that guide? Remember them in dua. If not, you will just continue fighting, especially when this admonition is coming from a woman to her husband. Oh my God, at the time he will start criticizing you and calling you all sort of name when you finally make a mistake and say, oh, look at her, the angel, so you are not supposed to be your husband's spiritual advisor. Admonish him and leave him alone. And you are not supposed to obey your husband when he's commanding you to do what is wrong. There is no obedience in disobedience to thy creator. You don't disobey Allah. You don't stop wearing your hijab. You don't stop doing things that are good and praiseworthy in Islam because your husband said you shouldn't do them. You should try to convince him in this case, or get someone to talk to him. One thing I want to say again is that you are not going to be judged as husband and wife. You are going to be judged individually. So race for Jannah. Race for Jannah. Regardless of who is in the race with you, whether your husband decides to join or your wife, just race for Jannah. Let's get there. Let's get there. Your eyes should be on Jannah. Don't let the nonchalant or lackadaisical behavior of your spouse stop you from striving for Jannah. Just include them in your dua, and that's all. May Allah grant us Jannah, just like the wife of Fir'aun made dua to Allah. She said, Rabbi ibnili indaka baytan fil jannah wa najjini min fir'auna wa amali wa najjini min al-qawmi zalimin. He's prayed to Allah to grant her a house in paradise and to save her from the oppression of Fir'aun and his people, his followers. So may Allah grant us Jannah. May Allah grant us a house in Jannah. Amen. Assalamu alaikum.